Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Me and Alex are playing statue game today. So please bear with me. If I move, the iPad is going to fall. If I don't move, my back is going to hurt. So we're going to play a game. Let's play very fast. Attention.
Tablet is more important. Because
We'll give a class about devotees compassion first, and then we'll move to the actual topic then. So thank you all for coming for today's Sunday feast. So the topic that I chose today is the calamities. Is it a curse or a blessing? So we'll have a quiz at the end of the class. So we'll start with, we'll discuss a few things, the concept and some of the pastimes or some of the lessons that we had from Srila Prabhupada and different Vaishnavas' life or anything you can learn. And then we'll see what the conclusion will be. Is it a curse or a blessing? So, when we come to Krishna consciousness, first thing that what is the expectation when we come to Krishna consciousness and when we become a little serious, the first expectation is that we will not have any problems, right? Because we are here with Krishna, we are taking shelter of Krishna, everybody else is eating everything, everybody else is drinking everything, and I have my own rules and regulations, I have my restrictions. So I am doing some austerity in my life, I am doing something that the other set of people are not doing, so I should not have any problems. So just before we go deeper into the class, we just want to come out of the misconception first, that we will not have any problems. Once you stand in the ocean, whether you are a devotee with a dhoti or a Bill Gates with a pant, you are going to get wet, right? You cannot come out of the ocean dry. You are going to get wet. Whether rich, poor, devotee, non-devotee, doesn't matter. So this material world is like an ocean. So once you come here, this is Dukhalaya Asashrita. So there will be problems. But how we perceive is what is different than the other people who are non-devotees, they perceive the problem. So that's what we'll try to little bit discuss about it. So there are different kinds of difficulties that anyone go through, right? What are the different kinds of difficulties that anyone can go through? First thing is, all we know, the physical difficulties. Right? The physical difficulty is like when we are young, energetic, we just see a little bit cold, cough and fever once in a while, but we're still energetic, and then we're like, nothing can touch me, nothing can hurt me. And then as you go into your 30s, 40s, the cold screams little stronger than when you are in 50s and 20s. And then you feel like, oh, why am I having cold these many days in my body? Or it should be over by this time. You can get hurt, breaking legs, breaking anything, headaches, anything. So many kinds of physical difficulties, innumerable number of difficulties are there. And the next thing is, but see, even with the physical difficulty, when the difficulty comes, the thing is, are we blaming Krishna in that situation, or are we taking shelter of Krishna? That's what makes the difference in our lives. So we'll come back to that, we'll discuss all the difficulties together. And the next one is what? The emotional difficulty. Right? Emotional difficulty is the biggest thing what I observed in my experience in devotee community especially. Physical difficulty when someone is not feeling well or when someone is really in need, few other devotees chip in and they cook for them, they go and talk to them and they need any help. But the emotional difficulty is the one which not many people are willing to share what they are going through. Even if they are willing to share, not the solution they expected they will get. Like they expected some kind of solution to come out of that emotional difficulty, but they don't get that same solution that they wanted for that emotional difficulty. Because of that emotional difficulty, sometimes it's very easy for our faith to be shaken. Why it is happening? I thought devotees are like this. Even if you say Grahastha ashram, even if you take Brahmacharya ashram, even if you take any residents are staying together for a few days, there will be differences, there will be conflicts. So what happens when it comes, like you try to serve somebody, you try to serve some person, or wife, or a husband, or some other devotee, your fellow mate, thinking that, oh, he's such a nice person, Whatever we hear that these things are materialistic, these people are going to behave like this, materialistic people behave like this, our conception is this devotee will never behave like that. Right? We have to be very practical. Think practically. Don't hide your heart. Think practically. Open your hearts and think what I'm saying. Who will think this devotee will never behave like this? This devotee will never talk like this to me. Maybe the whole world can say anything to me, but this particular devotee will never say like this to me because he's so advanced and he's so fixed up in practicing Krishna consciousness. And we put so much of our energy, time and intelligence, whatever is needed to serve that person, right? And then one day, bam, it comes. Right? Like what happened, I did not expect this. Why this person is talking to me like this? Why this person is behaving with me like this? I did not expect. I tried to do everything that I could do possibly in my limitations to serve this person. Why it is coming like this? Why he is behaving like this? And then we get into depressions. We get into, sadness. Why it is happening? So is Krishna good or Krishna bad? Krishna is, not merciful to me? Am I being faithful to Krishna? All these questions arise in heart. Do I need to practice Krishna consciousness anymore? Because I'm seeing this big conflict that I never expected in my life to see. I'm seeing this big conflict of behavior that I never wanted to see in my life. Do I still practice Krishna consciousness? Do I still keep faith in Krishna? What is this? What is this calamity in my life? Why it is happening? When that comes, what happened in Draupadi's life? Draupadi, she's the queen of Pandavas, right? She has 5 husbands. So she has so much faith in her life that they are going to protect her in any circumstances of life. But when she has been dragged into the court by Dushasana, and she was looking helplessly at every single person sitting in the court, Bhishma Pitama, everybody, all the husbands, everybody. She's like, someone, please help. But nobody could say any single word. Nobody did not say anything. Until the moment that she raised both of her hands and called out for Krishna. Then Krishna came and protected her, giving her unlimited length of the sari. So when things happens to us on an emotional level, that's what Krishna is expecting. Because see, let me give you a very simple example to let you understand how Krishna is helping us going through that. Say you have an orange. Okay, you have an orange. And somebody says, Prabhu, orange juice is really nice. Somebody else is having orange juice. This orange juice is really nice. By looking at that orange externally, will you be able to feel the taste of that orange juice? You can imagine anything. That is a different thing. You can imagine it is sweet, it may be sour, it may be bitter, anything. But until you squeeze the fruit, you will not be able to taste the juice. Whether it is apple, orange, banana, anything. So, in order for us to know what are we Like say, if I squeeze orange juice, what will come out of orange? Orange juice or mango juice? If I squeeze mango, what will come out of it?
Mango.
Seriously? No orange juice? No orange juice. So if I squeeze banana, what will come out? Banana shake, whatever you call it, right? Banana. So whatever fruit we are squeezing, that is what is coming out. Right? That means we are actually agitating the fruit. We are not saying massaging the fruit nicely and with the butter and ghee and saying, okay juice, please come out, I pray at your lotus feet. We are not doing that. We are cutting with a knife and squeezing towards the juicer. If you want to take smooth, you are putting it into the blender and making it a puree. Then you are enjoying the nectarine juice. Are we are not like those fruits? Are we not like those fruits? We are. Krishna wanted to see what we are inside. Outside we have these beautiful masks, nice tilak, nice hairstyle, wonderful saris, wonderful kurtas, external orange. Nice, it looks nice and shiny when you go to the store, you pick it up and put it in the bag and bring it home, very shiny and nice. You cut it, sometimes the fruit looks nice outside, but within, sometimes the fruit is rotten. Even apples, when you cut it inside, is black sometimes. So Krishna wanted to know what is here inside, not your external tilak, nice hairstyle and dhoti, kurta, sari or whatever it is. So he creates an agitated situation in life. Wow, agitates. Now he wanted to see what juice comes out. What comes out at that situation, at that moment is what we are. That's it. The bottom line is, at that moment of the agitating situation, what comes out, how we are behaving, how we are talking, how we are reacting, is the substance within us. So anytime there is a provoking situation, how we react. My Guru Maharaj always says, a person's greatness can be estimated by how he reacts to the provoking situations, how he acts. So when the provoking situation comes, how we act, how we talk, are we arguing, are we fighting, are we punching at each other, what we are doing, that is the substance within. That is the juice coming out. So if we are on the transcendental level, and if we are taking shelter of Krishna at that moment, thinking, Krishna, this is what I deserve, this is what my karma is, or whatever you want to think, this is based on philosophy, and respond to the situation, not react to the situation, then your juice will be activated, and Krishna can honor the juice. Krishna don't want your external dhoti, external sari. He don't care. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thousands of goddesses of Lakshmis are serving him. So he wants us to see, if you want to offer a good fruit, good juice to Krishna, the fruit inside has to be nice. So if our substance is not pure enough inside, how are we expecting to go back to Krishna? So when these agitating situations comes, that's what Krishna is trying to do. Take the example, Putana. See, we hear all these pastimes, but we never think deeper into it. Take the example of Putana. How many of you here know Putana story? Most of the devotees knows how Krishna killed Putana. So when Putana went to Nanda Maharaj's house, how did she went? She went like a demon, screaming? No. How did she go? She went like a beautiful damsel of heavenly planet, and Rohini and Yashoda were like, wow, my son is so fortunate. She came herself from the sky, from the heavenly planets to bless my son. And then she went and then she took, she's like, I'll feed your son so he will become immortal. Krishna becoming immortal, okay. So, immortal, so Yashoda is so happy. She said, okay, take my son, make him immortal. And then when Krishna started creating tension in her. Krishna started sucking. Then what came out? What happened? Where did the beautiful form go? The original form came out. The demonic form came out. Same thing with us. Krishna creates agitated situations in life that makes our ego hurt or anything can hurt, or it says, oh, I think you follow like this, my expectations were wrong, you do like this, you do like this. Like agitation comes. And how we behave, that's what is our original form inside. And Krishna, if you want to go back to Krishna, we have to surrender completely to Krishna. We cannot just something being external, something being internal. There is nothing like that. We have to be like transparent as we can with Krishna, to go back to Krishna. Same thing with Kaliya. Take Kaliya. Is Kaliya was enjoying Krishna's dancing? When Krishna went, see, Kaliya was so peaceful. If you think about Kaliya's pastime, Kaliya was so peaceful under the water until Krishna jumped into the water and started swimming. And Kaliya got agitated. So, who is this disturbing me? How dare he disturbs me? And then when the agitation comes, what did Kaliya do? He started fighting back with Krishna. That's what we do. When the agitation comes in life and some disturbance comes in life, Krishna just throw a pebble and say, you have a heart disease. How come, Krishna? How come? I did these many dressing services, these many cooking services, these many cleaning services, released all number of services, I hosted these many number of people. How can you give me a disease in the heart? Why not? That's what we deserve, that's what we get. So that it is so that situations comes for us so that we purify ourselves. If Krishna does not create those situations, how are we going to purify ourselves? If you don't cut the fruit, how are we going to squeeze the juice? If Krishna doesn't create that agitating situation, we will be like Kaliya, peacefully under the water. All the anarthas in the heart, nothing will happen, happily sleeping, coming to the temple, having full plate of prasadam, going back, sleeping, working, coming back, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare Bol. But Krishna is more desperate than us going back to him than we wanted to go back to him. So Krishna creates those situations. Is it like say I have a cheek, right? Somebody comes and says, oh, Rajpati, you're so cute. I'm not cute, but I'm saying. So, Rajpati, you're so cute. And then I'm like, okay, I'm happy. And then if they come and say, Rajpati, you're so cute, they pinch me hard. It's like, oh, it hurts. But if I have a boil on my cheek, like say some boil, heaping boil or something, and if somebody comes and says, same action, right? If they come and say, holding that boiled cheek and saying, Rajpati, you're so cute, I'm not going to be happy about it. Why? It's the same action, but something else is agitating me. Right? So is it the person's problem who is trying to hold me, saying you're so cute, not knowing that I really have such a big boil there? Or is it my problem that I'm getting agitated that I have this anartha in there? It's me. So when the situations comes in life, it's not other opposite person's fault. It is us. Krishna wants us to clean. Krishna keeps on giving opportunity after opportunity, chance after chance. Purify yourself in this lifetime, my dear child. Come back to me. I'm eagerly waiting for you. But as soon as we touch the agitating situation, first thing is like, how can you do this to me? You don't think about other people's pain, you don't think about this, you are selfish, you are this, you are that. And go. So we are losing an opportunity to purify one more step closer towards Krishna. Those are all the opportunities to remember Krishna. It looks, maybe I'm talking very practically, but it's very practical basis I'm telling you. Because life situations are not always happy moments. Life situations can go upside down. It can be very painful on a daily basis to deal with people. People around you, situations around you, it becomes more painful, more and more painful to deal, to have conversations. So say if you have a teeth, right? I'm giving you all practical things so that when you go back, you don't need to forget all these points that the other Vaishnavas shared. I am also trying to practice. Don't think that I'm sitting here and talking, so I'm a person Bhagavad. No. I am also trying to practice. These are all lessons for me as well. This is more for me than for all of you, this class. Say you're eating something, right? Nice gulab jamun or nice lasagna that mother makes. And all of a sudden you bite your tongue. What do? You break your teeth and throw it away? No, right? You keep your teeth, but you feel the pain, but you don't, do you curse? The teeth you rascal curse, may you lose, may you go away in 2 days. Then we are the losers. Same thing with us. Agitating situations comes, Krishna is not to be blamed. Krishna consciousness is not to be blamed. The moment is pure. Krishna is pure. The process is pure. What is impure is us. The impurities are lying within us. So the process that Srila Prabhupada gave us is to purify those impurities within us so that we can get purified and go back to Krishna. It's not like Krishna is going to give you one opportunity and thus he's going to leave you on the road. Krishna is going to give you opportunity after opportunity. I was listening to one pastime. My Guru Maharaj told me this pastime. In Karnataka, they had a farm community. So, it's near the forest. So there are a lot of elephants come sometimes. So one day one elephant came, and it's not temple's farm, but the farmers, there are a lot of farmers around. So this one big male elephant came. The male elephant came and then it just ate half of the crop in one of the fields. And then it felt so tired. And it went on to the other side of the crop field and then laid down. So that side is gone, right? And it got irritated after some time, it got up and it went on to the other side. Like that it went around the field, lying down, so the whole crop was gone. So devotees, they have a farm community, so they heard about this elephant, they are like, okay, we have to be careful, whenever it is. So one day 2 brahmacharis were walking. Naistika brahmacharis. Excuse me. When 2 brahmacharis walking along the forest path, they saw this elephant, started screaming behind them, right? Little further. And then these brahmacharis don't know what to do. They're like, oh, this is the same elephant that we heard the story about, run for your life, So they both started running. But Maharaj was telling, male elephants, they run much faster than us. So this elephant was running really faster behind them. And these 2 brahmacharis, they don't know what to do. So they are so close, now they gave up. They're like, okay, we are finished. We are going to die anyways. Now one of the brahmacharis, he immediately started praying to Krishna. So I will tell you what happened. So when he started praying to Krishna, he was telling Maharaj that when he was 8 years old, that brahmachari, when he was 8 years old, he used to live in one of the villages. And that time, in villages, there used to be Bhagavad Katha in the evening. Most of the, small villages in India, somebody used to come and narrate. Some sadhus, they come and narrate the Bhagavad stories and some pastimes of Krishna. So one of the sadhus, he was narrating one Bhagavad Katha. In that Katha, he said, how to escape from male elephant chase. He said, elephants cannot go down the hill. Elephants can run as long as the field is straightforward and they can run, but they cannot go down the hill. So when he was praying to Krishna, Krishna gave him the intelligence and he remembered what he heard when he was 8 years old. And then he told the brahmachari, follow me. And he's like, where are you going? Where are you going? He's like, just right behind me. And they ran and because it's a forest, there will be up and down hills, mountains. So they found a downhill and they started rolling down the hill. And they're getting up, rolling. And the elephant came up to the hill and then it saw these brahmacharis and it just started screaming so mad because they escaped. But it didn't hurt them. So Maharaj was saying, when they are in that agitated situation, when they are in that difficult situation, they did not blame Krishna. Oh Krishna, we are nice to the brahmachari, serving you for so long, wearing these saffron clothes, and we did so much of seva, we gave up our families, we gave up our desires, we are sitting here and serving you. Why are you doing this to us? They did not do that. They said, Krishna, whatever you want to do with us, just do it. And then Krishna gave that intelligence for them to get away with that situation. And this brahmachari said, anything I will forget in my life, but not that one. That helps me to remember Krishna so much. Now that actually made him like a practice for him. Whenever any difficult situation comes, that's what he does. Just pray to Krishna. Just pray.
I thought he just rolls downhill.
What is that?
I thought you meant he just rolls downhill.
Yeah. If that is a situation again, probably. So, even if we take our Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, when he came on Jaladuta, how many difficulties he went, before even he get on to Jaladuta, how many difficulties he went through in India, selling back to Godhead magazines for 40 paisa, 25 paisa, 10 paisa, not having enough money to print books, asking so many people, begging so many people, please help me to print these books. This is my Guru Maharaj's instruction. Please help me to preach this movement because this is my Guru Maharaj's instruction. And when he was in Jaladuta in the midst of the ocean, he got heart attack. 2 times, not 1 time, 2 times he got the heart attack. Why he went through all the difficulty? Did he curse Krishna when he got that heart attack? When he landed in Boston, he doesn't know anybody. He don't know anybody, he don't know where to go, take right, left, what is this? This whole thing is new for him. No money. Nobody is there to pick him up or nobody is holding the board saying welcome to Boston or something. But still, what did he say? Krishna, make me dance. I am puppet in your hand. Make me dance however you want, however you would like me to dance, make me dance. So when Krishna creates situations in life, it is very, very hard. I'm telling you. I'm not saying that when the agitating situation comes, remember March 3rd, 2019 class, we heard that agitating situation comes, we have to pray. Nothing will come into the brain. First thing will flare up is your ego. First thing is ego. And then after ego, after all the fight, when you sit to cry, after those hard tears goes away, then we're like, oh yeah. Actually, when the agitating situations comes, this is how we have to behave. Maybe next time Krishna heard you. He's not going to leave you. When you say next time, he's like, okay, next time. I'm ready for you, baby. And the next time he'll throw one more. And then the same thing again. And Krishna is sitting there and like, oh, no, not like that. And then after everything, then again we come before Krishna with folded hands. I'm so sorry, I know I failed again, but I'll try again, And we keep praying to Krishna, please make my question paper a little easy next time. Don't make this standardized test too hard, Krishna. It's too hard for me. I keep failing, What did I do? Because he is the invigilator, he is the who is giving the question paper, and he is the one who is going to correct the question paper also. Like, say, Krishna, you have to make me fast. Make my question paper a little easy, Baba. I'm not that, smart. Give me strength to go through the test. So how do we get that strength? How do we develop that strength? How do we have that faith that Krishna is going to do that? Huh? Any thoughts?
Pray.
Right? Okay? What else?
sharing.
Sharing. How do we develop that strength and intelligence to pray to Krishna when the agitating situations comes?
Associate with the devotees who has that.
Associate with the devotees who has that strength. Nice. That's one thing. So another one is, what is the basis of our movement?
Practice.
Mahamantra chanting. So when we chant, we really have to chant. We hear so many times, we have to chant like the way a baby cries for her mother. And as soon as we hear that, we're like, we don't want to hear only. Because all the mothers will buy, let me chant. I don't want my baby to cry like that. I want it to chant. So, but the thing is, like when the baby cries for the mother, like it's like desperate. They don't want anybody else. You see, even sometimes kids, they don't even go to the father, right? I see a lot of times Deeptiman going to the Kirtan, Kalindi gets mother, gets tired. Deeptiman don't want to go to Rukram Prabhu sometimes, right? So it happens sometimes because their motherly affection is different than, it's not like Rukram Prabhu doesn't love Deeptiman. It is just that Krishna created the nature like that. So we have to chant in that mood. We have to chant begging Krishna to give shelter. If we keep chanting and all our planning is going on throughout the chanting, see sometimes we think we really have to sit and chant, we really have to sit, and then we sit probably 4 beats, not rounds. Please make a note, not 4 rounds. 4 beats, 5 beats, Maha Mantra, and then our mind gets tired. How much you have to focus? I'm tired, I'm getting tired, I already focused so long. And then we keep planning, okay, I have to, make idli batter for tomorrow's breakfast. I have to sew Gaur Purnima's outfit, and I have to make jewelry, and I have to buy it. Oh, I do the weekend shopping, 2 more rounds, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And then we just keep rushing, 2 more rounds, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. We don't know whether we spelled Krishna, we pronounce Hare, we pronounce Krishna, nothing. We just have that rhythm. Round is done. 2 rounds are done and we go shopping happily for 3 hours. 15 minutes of chanting is so hard to chant 2 rounds attentively, but we are so happy doing shopping for 3 hours. Right? So because we don't have a taste. We don't have the taste for the holy name. So we have to beg for the taste for the holy name. That happens only in the association of devotees. That happens only when you are in a group of devotees who have that faith, who have that, taste for the holy name. When you associate with them, then you get that taste. When you get that taste, when you try to start chanting attentively, then slowly you build that faith. When the situations comes in life, then you realize, oh, it's coming. It's very hard, but you can try. As you keep trying, sometimes what happens, you want me to tell you another example? I'm a very practical person, so that's why I'm giving all these examples. Sometimes what happens is like, some situation comes, right? And then we really try, we were really praying that, okay, Krishna, I really wanted to behave like a devotee in this situation. I really wanted, from inside, from within, I really wanted to behave like this. And then we really behave, we really control, no arguments or no fights or no reacting too much harshly to the situation, and we do everything nicely. We do for a couple of situations, and then we stand high. I did it. Right? I applied the philosophy, the application is successful. And then we come to temple with bigger eyes and like I already did it. What happened between Varahadeva and Hiranyaksha? When Varahadeva and Hiranyaksha were fighting, what happened? There was a fierce fight, so big fight, right? At one point of time, when Hiranyaksha threw his weapon, Varaha, he fell. And then what did Hiranyaksha fell? He's like, I did it. I'm successful. I'm successful in my endeavor. I'm successful in defeating you. I'm successful in, in my attempt. And then what did Varahadev do? Simple, and then Varahadev, Kiranyaksha finished. Right? We are like that. When we say one application, we do one situation of life, we apply, and we stand straight. Krishna is like, oh no, I need to send another one. she's not learning. I need to send another one to Vrajabhakti, get ready Vrajabhakti, And then you stand straight, it will come hit more harder now, because until now you are bending, it's going over and above and side and things. And then we're like, ouch Krishna, ouch Krishna. And then now you stand straight and it comes and right bump onto your face. Right? And at that moment we have to realize, okay Krishna, my pride stick inside is so hard that it's not melting. So now it needs to melt. So we need to pray. But Krishna keeps giving situations. Those are the purifications that we get in life. Until we recognize His presence in our life, until we recognize His interference in our life, until we recognize His compassion and His mercy in life, it keeps coming. It keeps hitting. It's not His fault. It's all what we did in our previous lives. It's all our purification. Krishna wants us to, He wants us to massage our heart so bad that it's like a hard rock right now. So He wants that rock to become like a butter so He can come and just steal the butter. But how does that comes like a butter? It doesn't come like, we offer tulsi leaves to Krishna's lotus feet every time we dress. We get this pulp from the actual sandalwood. And then we take the pulp and then, we put the tulsi leaves to Krishna. How does the pulp comes? Pulp is not going to come when we put the sandalwood like this. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. It's not going to come like this. We will take the pulp and we just go like so hard on the base. And then the pulp comes. And then we take that pulp and offer it to Krishna. Our heart is so hard right now. So Krishna has to do the massage so hard that it becomes softened so that He can come and steal it. But it's not that easy because we are rebellious. When Krishna is trying to do it, we are like, wait. But Krishna is not going to push you. That is there. Krishna is all merciful. He is going to give you your own time. If not this lifetime, that's okay. He will come again with you in the next lifetime. If you become as a human. If you become another animal, He will still come with you. Whatever form we take, whatever birth we take, He will still keep coming with us until that day we accept Krishna in our lives and take it. So many examples in the scriptures. How did Krishna got married to Jambavati? Who is Jambavati? Jambavan's daughter. How did he got married to Jambavati? Because when the Samantaka Jewel got, what is his name? Satyajit. Satyajit's brother, Satyajit has the Samantaka Jewel, but his brother took it and he went to the forest. The lion killed him, Prasena. Yeah, thank you, Mother. The lion killed him, and then for Jambavan, the lion is like a stuffed toy, So he just killed the lion, and then he took the jewel. And then what did he do? For Samantaka jewel is so valuable to Satyajit and everybody. It used to produce 17 pounds of gold. Ooh, we are so fortunate we don't have that. 17 pounds of gold. If we have it, probably we'll be closing the room and we're inside the room only. Saying, I'm meditating, chanting Krishna's name. We will never come out of that room. Every day 17 pounds of gold, every day. So, it is so valuable to them. For Jambavan, he just gave it to his son, play. It's a toy, play. And then he was playing, and then Krishna came looking for the jewel because Satyajit blaming Krishna, saying that he stole it. So Krishna wanted to prove, but of course Krishna has multiple things to do at the same time. So this is another reason that he has to come. So Krishna came to get the jewel, and then when he saw Krishna, the baby started crying, and whoever is taking care of the babysitter in our language, so she started screaming, somebody came, and then Jambavan came. And then he said, who are you? Why did you come? And then he started fighting with Krishna. How many days they fought?
16 days.
18? 21 days. 21 days. They fought 21 days. Krishna had to beat up Jambavan so bad that he don't have any more strength to lift his hands and legs, and then he realized nobody else can do this to me except my own Lord Ramchandra. And then Krishna revealed himself, and then what did Krishna do after that? When Krishna was fighting those 21 days, his hands were like thunderbolt hitting Jambavan, right? Now with the same hands, they are like lotus petal flowers. He was massaging Jambavan for the wounds, right? So Krishna is beating us up, not for his desire, not for his own, benefit. Krishna is going to beat us up so that we realize our eternal position. We realize our constitutional position of being a servant to him, so that we can surrender our lives. So what happened after Jambavan did? He said, what can I give you, my lord? You came to my home. I don't have anything to give you. So he said, take my daughter. So he gave Jambavan. And he said, what do I do with this jewel after I saw my lord in my lord of my life? So he gave the jewel also. So that's what, so many of these pastimes, it's not just a simple pastime. It is every single pastime has a practical application in our lives that we can apply to. Every single application, every single pastime has some lesson for us to learn. We heard so many about Kaliya, so many times about Putana, but we never thought on these lines. Unless until we are from a senior Vaishnava, their realizations, then we will be able to understand. Right? So whatever situations comes in our life, whatever agitations comes in our life, they are all for our own purification. So now the quiz. So is the calamities that comes in our life, is it a curse or a blessing? You all understood it very well. So thank you so very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anybody has any questions? Yes, Prabhupada.
So, Mataji, throughout the lecture, you gave an example that every time orange juice, it goes through the agitation. The banana goes through the agitation, the pulp goes through the agitation. But taking that analogy further, you see that after the agitation happens on the orange, you see how the orange becomes, it's all like rattle. It's not in the same similar shape anymore. So same thing applied as on people. If people are put through the agitation, they don't again become the same they were before. There is a damage done, right? Now in that case, it's hard. Of course, it requires a lot of effort and determination to get back on foot and start walking. But what's the role of others, around that, or around someone who has been through that situation? What's the role of others, like for example seniors or anyone? What's their role to make the situation better so that the person who has gone through the agitation situation, that person gets better, and people who are affected through the whole situation, even their bhakti and sadhana also, comes back on track?
Everybody understood the question? The question is, when we take the example of orange, we cut the orange, we squeeze it, we got the juice, but the orange is not the same now, right? It went through that agitation, it is not the same. So if we apply the same principle to our lives, when we go through some emotional difficulty or any difficulty that we go through, the damage is already done, right? Somebody got really hurt inside, their heart is broken, or physically you are not in the same position as you were before. So at that moment it is very, very hard for us to come back and be the same person. So at that moment, what is the role of the near and dear ones and the people, extended families or extended community, whoever it is, what is the role so that we make them comfortable?
Them as well as people who are affected in that situation.
That person as well as the people around them who got affected. So this is the situation, these are the situations that we, when it happens, first thing that based on my personal experience, first thing that people need is lot of emotional support. A lot of emotional support. We just have to tell them that we are respecting you the same way that we were respecting you before the situation happened and now also. Right? Most of the times when the situation happens, say somebody did some mistake and everybody's blaming one after another. This list of people are blaming. So that person feels hurt. Whether they do the if they do the mistake, first of all they feel guilty and then bad. If they don't do the mistake, if they are not part of that mistake, then it makes them more painful. So at that moment, first thing, what is needed is the emotional support. Very, very important in devotee's life as well. Because most of the time what happens in devotee's life, we think that chant Hare Krishna, everything will go away. Chant holy name, everything will go away. Everything will go away if we chant attentively. For sure, holy name has that power. Even if you don't chant attentively, there is some power. But still, we have to have that faith in the holy name. How many of us are sitting here? You don't need to raise your hands. Just evaluate yourself within your heart. How many of us sitting here has that faith that if I chant the holy name, everything will be nice? You don't need to raise your hands. That shows our conviction on the holy name. So first thing is we need to give a practical emotional support to the person. Saying that, it's okay, things happens, mistakes happens. Today it's you, tomorrow it's maybe me, right? So, but still we love you the same way, we respect you the same way, we'll still support you the same way. So do not worry. And we have to keep counseling them, depending on their need. Sometimes people just with 2-3 sentences they are fine. But sometimes people, they keep expecting some kind of love and affection, some kind of hugs, some kind of, they want us to sit with them and have prasadam. They expect us to invite to their, invite to our houses and spend some time with them. So what is their need? Based on your relationship with that particular person, you need to be able to figure out what kind of needs they have. Is the emotional support itself is enough, or they're expecting some kind of physical support as well? If they're expecting some kind of physical support, tell them, okay, what can I do for you? You want me to go shop for you? If you don't have a mood, I can do this, I can do that. Some kind of support. And the people who are affected around them, they are more dangerous actually than the people who are actually affected, honestly speaking. Because it's hard to keep their mentality positive because they keep like Mandara. In Ramayana, Mandara, what she has to do with coronation of Ram? But she's agitated more, she agitated Kaikeyi more, right? So we have to be careful that they don't, when we give counseling together first of all. And then whoever has more need, more attention, we separately counsel them separately. Separately ask them what is their emotional need, why still they are feeling bad, what is making them to feel bad, what can we do? We have to take that extra step to make them feel better, to be part of the community. We have to. But we have to know, depending on the relationship, but it depends on the relationship. Because if I don't have a good relationship, a friendly relationship, a brotherly relationship, or a motherly relationship with someone, I may not be able to know exactly what their need is. But if you have a relation, knowing that what exactly their need is, we should be able to guide them. If we cannot understand, then go to the next step. Go to the senior devotees. Most of the time, lot of practical situations, most of the people already gone through, or they heard from someone who applied that philosophy, who applied that application, whatever they learned in that situation. So we have an example to quote, and we can tell them, okay, this is what happened. This is nothing in our hands. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. See, It's because the attachments are so hard to get out of it. Any attachment, whether it can be the attachment to the property, attachment to our own self, attachment to the family. I will tell you my own example. My father is a very strong personality, very strong personality. He just, my way is like this. But he took care of us very nicely. He made sure we are happy, everything. But certain things he just, most of the Indian parents, honestly speaking, fathers are like, I'm the tiger of the house or lion of the house. You just listen what I say. We have these properties, and when he got his stroke for the first one back in February 2000 last year. So we told him, now he got this serious stroke. Mama cannot be able to do anything. My mom is very innocent. If you see my mother, you will not be able to believe such she brought us like this. She is very innocent. She is the person who I saw, even the naughty devotee. She has so much application of the philosophy. She is the person in my life I saw. Even if I go and slap her, somebody slaps her, she just keeps quiet and come back. And I said, Ma, why are you not reacting? Do something, He's like, some karma I have done, Amma, so that's why they slapped me. So why should I slap them? If I did not do anything, if they slapped me, it is their problem. God will take care of them. It's between them and God. She is like that. All the time she was like that. So I told my father, she will not be able to handle these properties, just sell them off. Just sell them. But that's his burning desire throughout his life, that he wanted to build that shopping complex. He built a shopping complex with 12 shops in my village. So much. So he didn't sell it. And then he's like, I'm there, I will sell it, I'll talk to people. He kept saying like that. And all of a sudden, one night he went to sleep and he never woke up. Right? So when I got the call, I was crying, but then I was remembering my Guru Maharaj's words within those tears, how attachment keeps you in this world, how attachment makes you, not think of Krishna. So I was thinking, my father, we call Nana in Telugu. So I was thinking, Nana, you are so much attached to those properties. Now you left your body. Now people who are going to lift your body, they are going to drag you out of those properties. All those properties kicked you out. Maya is like that, bro. Maya is like that. She will show you some kind of, object for your sense enjoyment. Either it can be a property, motherly attachment, fatherly attachment, husband attachment, wife attachment, something. She said, he's very nice, very nice, very nice. And then we go and we get attached. And very nice, very nice. And then she will create little more sense objects around you. And then what happened? She formed a ring, like a wrestling ring, wrestling competition. And then what happens? Within the wrestling ring, what happens? Within the wrestling ring, there is no aarti going on, right? Within the wrestling ring, there is no idli sambar, hot sambar going on. What is going on within the wrestling? Khichdi going on, beating up each other. Right? So many people beating each other. And then when they lose, during the wrestling match, what will they do? They just throw them, drag them out of the ring. So that's what happens in our lives. We are so much attached to our, so many things. We are so much worried about our property, so much worried about our ego, so much worried about so many things. Maya keeps saying, yes, 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 no, not this. But next situation will be better. Next time your family will behave better with you. Believe me, stay. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Don't worry about Krishna. Don't take shelter of Krishna. Next time the situation will be better. Forget about Krishna. I am telling you. And then she beats us up. And then finally, when we lose your, energy, strength, intelligence, everything, all your sense objects started shutting down one by one, she will just fake you. She will just throw you out of the drink. And then we lost Krishna, we wasted our human life and everything. So when somebody is down, it's very, very important to uplift them. It can be a small pain, Prabhu. I'm telling you, it's not emotional, doesn't mean that somebody got blasphemed or somebody got scolded or nothing like that. Say, I'm taking your own example just because you asked the question, it doesn't mean that it is like. Say Sreshta got hurt. Right? Sreshta got hurt to her foot and she cannot walk, or maybe during the lab she got some burn to the hand. She's coming and cooking and doing everything, but if you don't pay attention to that burn, saying, Sreshta, how is your burn feeling? Maybe you will not be able to wash the parts, you want me to wash the parts, or you want me to do something. Automatically emotional hurt. She already got physically hurt. Now you are not paying attention because she's expecting something from you. And she will emotionally get hurt, and that builds more. That makes it bigger. And at that point of time, it takes time for you to undo. So when this little pain happens on the finger, going and asking her, you don't need to call every 5 minutes. Are you holding the container properly in the lab? Are you holding the fork properly to eat? No. When you see her in the evening, so how did the day go? Or maybe when you call her in lunchtime, how did the day go, Srishta? How did your hand feeling now? Are you feeling okay? She's not here, don't worry. Hi, Srishta. So, inquiring about it. Because, see, we are all expecting, Krishna loves us so much, and we are all expecting some kind of love and affection being part and parcels of Him. So that kind of affection is needed. So it comes by experience, sometimes bad experiences, sometimes good experiences, but we have to learn to balance, not getting too much attached to what we have around us. But at the same time, we have to do our dharma, we have to do our duty properly, and then help other soul also to take shelter of Krishna. Same thing, it's vice versa. If you are down, your wife has to be there to help. If other community member is down, the whole community has to be there to help them. Sometimes it's not like, okay, she helped that person. Maybe sometimes like, I may not be feeling well, I may not be able to come to some other place. It doesn't mean that I don't care about the devotee. Maybe Sita is not feeling well, she doesn't come to some other place. It doesn't mean that she doesn't care about the devotee. It depends on the situation. But when we have that faith that devotees are there to take care of us, it gives immense strength to us. There is someone that I can call to, there is someone that I can depend on when the situation comes in my life. You feel Krishna's presence in life. And as I said, make sure every one of you, to each other in the community, as in the family, take care of your emotional, physical and spiritual supports properly. Because it's very, very hard. Once it breaks down, putting together will be very hard. It takes lifetimes, it takes so many years and years to put that heart together. So before it breaks down completely, don't be fanatics, Prabhus. Don't be fanatics. Don't think that you are reading philosophy, you are chanting so many years, you shouldn't feel bad. No, it's not going to happen like that. It is not going to happen. We are all people, we are all souls. There is some kind of emotion is there for soul. Soul is not emotionless. There is an emotion for the soul. That is the soul that loves Krishna. So take care and balance your life properly so that you can feel Krishna's presence and you can increase your faith in Krishna's holy name as well as in the philosophy. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.